What's going on, everybody? Ode Osborne here, UFC Flyweight, and this is Gwaan Podcast. And if you don't know what Gwaan means what's up in Patois. So I'm here with my man, speaking of Patois, here with my man Phill Rowe, welterweight fighter from the UFC. So Phil, Gwaan, brother.
Gwaan, Medea, Badman, Dea.
You don't know. Boop, 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 boop. I saw I do it. Yo, I think this is the first time that I've had, another Jamaican I could speak Patois to, because my other podcasts, they'd be like, what? What?
You got to get Randy on here, Rude Boy.
Yeah. I've got to get Rude Boy next.
Jason Jackson, you know what I mean? Delano Taylor, there's a lot of us out here now.
Yeah, man. So what brings you to Vegas?
I'm with Mike Davis. He's fighting this weekend. Whatever UFC number this is, but it's at the Apex. Mm-hmm. He hasn't fought in a little bit, so I'm out here cornering him.
So, that's awesome, man. So you train with him, or what's the connection there?
Yeah, man. Mike Davis, Beast Boy. Shout out to Mike. I've been training with Mike for a long time.
Yeah.
I would say 2014.
Okay.
We've been training together, man, and we dreamed about being here. We talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
And we're both here now, which is cool, and we're still training together. He's from New York. I'm from New York, so it's love, man. It's nothing but love.
That's what's up. And so is your official gym in Florida, out of Florida?
Yeah, so I train at Fusion Excel.
Okay.
Under Julian Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He is 12-1 as a professional. We got a lot of homegrown guys there. We got a lot of guys that started with him and got to the big show. So Mike Perry is a big name out of our gym.
Yeah.
We got Alex Nicholson. We got Hannah Goldie. We got myself, Mike Davis, Adolfo Vieira, Jacare Souza, Leota Machida. There's a lot of people there now. A lot of people.
Good names, man.
We stacked now. We stacked.
Stack. That's some good names, man. So how long until you get another, or when do you want to fight next is what I want to say.
So it's looking like I'm fighting December 3rd in Orlando. So this is lit for me. This is my first time fighting in front of a crowd. I fought 4 times in a row at the Apex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm over it. So, and we're here. You know, if I'm at the big show, I wanna go out. I want to fight in front of a crowd. I want to feel that energy.
Yeah.
I want to, you know what I mean? As scary as this game is, I might as well go all the way. You know what I mean? I might as well get the biggest crowd. You know what I mean? Get the biggest reaction and see what it feels like.
So wait a minute. You have not fought in front of a crowd yet in the UFC?
Nope.
Wow. You were a COVID fighter.
Facts.
Oh, man.
So not vax. Facts. We ain't doing that over here.
Not up in here. So tell me how that's been, fighting without a crowd this whole time. Versus, are you like just looking forward? I mean, you just said it. You're looking forward to that moment.
Me personally, I feel like if you put me in front of a crowd, it's over. And fighters say that all the time, but there's nobody like me in the UFC, man.
You got the energy, man.
Nobody like me. These guys are weenies, bro. Like, and I say it so much, like, because they are. And I'm not, it's no knock to none of these guys. They're just not cut from my cloth. They're not from my culture. They don't talk like me. They don't move like me.
Yeah.
So I know the fans and people connect to me, period.
And I notice, a lot of fighters are starting to build a certain persona. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
You're damn right.
They're starting to build like a certain image that they want for the fans. You don't meet a lot of people like you, and I have met. I've been fortunate to have some people like you on my podcast. But I was thinking about that like recently. I was like, man, there's not a lot of people like this anymore, where it's just authentically them and who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Period. And it's easiest to be Phil all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, don't get it twisted. I understand the game. And I understand these guys that Hazmat, Kobe Covington. I understand they have to play that role because realistically, that's not who they are. And who they are is boring. Who they are isn't really selling. It's really making them money. And I get that. And I'm not knocking that. That's how they make their money. That's how they feed their family. But for me, it's just something more so when that person's authentic, when that person is thorough, when that person is really who they portray to be.
Yes.
So I just think it's easier just to be yourself, And my thing is this, like, with these fighters that have that persona, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be who you are.
Yeah.
And my thing is this, if you're a nerd, be a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an anime guy, be an anime guy. If you're a thug, be a thug. You know what I mean? I'm not
You're you.
I'm not telling you what to do,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to
Yeah.
go. And I see so many guys, they're angry this time, they're nice that time, they're gangster this time, they're not a gangster. It's just way easier to be yourself. And
100.
whoever you are, that's cool. And whoever you are will sell if you're genuine. And that's what these guys don't understand. Instead of having that facade, that image, just be you. And eventually who you are will seep through and people will connect to that.
Man, talk about bars.
Facts.
For real, bars. Hey, straight up.
Facts.
Like, because I see it so much. You know what I'm saying? The thing I see the most is people try to be hard when they're not that. You know what I'm saying? They're not about that, or try to be with the streets when they're not. Like, I will never try to be with the streets. I'm not with the streets. You know what I'm saying? I will never try to be like that. I talk proper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never try to be with the streets. And I see so many people do that. That's not them.
And it's okay.
Right, exactly.
And what I be saying to these guys is this: I'm no gangster, but I know gangsters.
Yeah.
And they're not you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like my man Averb said, he said, I've been around gangsters, and with you, I just don't get that feel. And that's how it is with these guys. Like, and it's okay not to be, I don't want to be a gangster. You know what I mean? It's okay to be who you are, but you're not that. And I tell you this, man, where I'm from, I ain't never gotten in a fist fight with somebody and hugged it out after. And it's beef forever.
Yep.
Forever.
And you might die.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if on site, all my friends are going to jump you, your friends are going to jump me. So just putting that out there, like, you watch these fighters, they got the most beef. They talking about each other's moms, they talking about each other's kids. When they fight, then they on their knees hugging, making out in the cage. Like, for what? That ain't no beef. You know what I mean? That's chicken. That's real chicken. They ain't got no beef. You know what I mean? And my thing is this: keep it on the polar opposite end. Me, when you see me, it's all love. What up, man? Good to see you, man. How you doing?
I noticed that.
Jokes, laughing, funny.
I noticed
be
that.
But don't be the gangster, because it's not true. Every time I see these guys, they talking hella shit, talking about each other's kids, moms, press conference this. The second they fight, 5 3-minute rounds, they making out after. Best friends. It's fucking weird, man.
Well, that's because that's what the game has become. You know what I'm saying? I feel certain people have set a blueprint for fighters, right? And certain people has said, if you do this, then, you know, your social media will grow. Or if you act like this, then your reach and your fan base and all this. And you know what I'm saying? But like you said, man, there's a difference between knowing the game and stepping outside your character. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people now step outside their character who, you know, it's not really you. You know, Kobe Covington, a prime example. You meet him, he's nothing like how he acts on TV.
At all. Gentleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my thing is this: you portray this so much, right? What's real to me? You know what I mean? Like, that kid don't know you know what I mean? He don't know you personally. He just see the dickhead shit you say.
Yeah.
So now he thinks you're a dickhead. He thinks that's cool now. You know, he thinks when he goes in competition in whatever he's doing, it's cool to be a dickhead. You know what I mean? It's cool not to be a stand-up guy. So, like, I know who you are, right? Your peers know who you are, but you're portraying something that's not good to the masses, you know?
And you know, too, something I noticed is that a lot of that runs off into their fight. You know what I'm saying? You see certain people, they come off like a lion, but they perform like a cat. You know what I'm saying? So that runoff comes off into their fight, and they, you know, they in the press conference, they're talking hella shit, and they're just going at each other's throats, but in a fight, you're like, where's that energy?
Yeah,
where was that energy at? Like, I'm still trying to find this energy. Like, what?
Bro, I see it, man. The fight game is a weird thing, man. Like, I like it. You know, I like competing. To be honest, the only reason I do this is because
it's opportunity. It's a platform.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a platform to catapult me into whatever else I got to do.
Bro, thank you for saying that shit. Oh my goodness. Can you say that shit again?
It's a platform to catapult me into doing what I want to do.
Yes.
And my gift, I feel like everybody has a gift, right? I feel like God blesses everybody with something. And it's what you do with that gift determines where you go. And bar none, my gift was basketball, you know? And now I know, being here, that I could have been in the NBA. Guys say it all the time, and I got friends in the NBA. Oh, I could have done this. I know, because this wasn't for me. You know, this was so hard. I was losing. I was getting my ass beat. Phil, why you doing? I started it late. Man, you ain't gonna, don't worry about me. You know what I mean? All right, I'm a lot. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. And basketball passed me by because I was just good and I didn't work hard. I was good. I didn't work hard in school. I didn't work hard in the court, but I could play. And that's not enough to get you to that next level. And it passed me by. And once I started doing this when I was 21, it was hard. I was losing. I was getting choked out by girls in the gym. I wasn't winning fights. And people would tell me all the time, like, man, this ain't for you, Phill. I just didn't want to quit. So I just kept doing it. I said, you know, I'm not stopping this till I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I got my black belt actually 2 months ago. But I didn't want to stop until I became a black belt and it turned into this, you know? So now I kind of have to do it. Whether I want to or not, I've invested so much in this. I gotta ride it till the wheels fall off, you know?
But you know what, man? I will say this till the cows come home, you know? I am when I say heavy, I believe in God so much. Like, God is my number one for everything. You know, he's who I am through and through. You know what I mean? The reason why I'm saying that is because basketball, you weren't supposed to do basketball. You were supposed to do what you're doing now, because what you're doing now is going to lead you into the next thing. And everything that didn't happen in your life right now is a trajectory. I can't even say that shit. Trajectory into your next life. You know what I'm saying? Like, when not next life, like afterlife, but next career path. And it's gonna, all those failures has prepped you for the next best thing. And that's something that I've learned now, right here, right in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally in this moment, I always wanted to do this, what I'm doing right now. I was actually a sports anchor in high school. I was a sports anchor all through high school. I went to college for it to do more video and film work. People was like, oh yeah, you should do business. You know, there's no money in, you know, communications, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, whatever. Went and did business. You know, they cut the wrestling program. So I ended up, you know, dropping out, got into fighting. But it's like everything that I did then, look at this. Now is here. It is all prepped me to do this right now. And yeah, I love, you know what I'm saying? I love the opportunities that the UFC gives me. But like you said, I want to use all the opportunities to grow, because I used to always think like, yeah, I want to be a UFC champion and that's it. Now that I know I can do UFC champion, even if I don't become a UFC champion, that's okay. But that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a champion. But now I'm like, I can really do so many other things. I don't have to limit myself to only being a UFC champion. I could be a mentor to kids. I can, you know, be a leader in my community somehow. I could help people, you know, talk about mental health, like, you know, teach about God and stuff. You know, I'm so many different things I can do. But I needed to fail everything else that I failed. And I hate saying the word failing, because society has this weird concept of failing, which is so weird. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird. Just because you didn't accomplish something that is in society's needs, you failed. Isn't that a strange?
It is strange, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now without failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I totally understand. I think there are more life lessons and teachings than failings, you know? So like now, things that happen day to day, I'm bulletproof. When I say my mind is bulletproof, like,
I believe it, bro.
Like, if you know what I go through daily, you're like, Phill, how you function? You know what I mean? Like, trooper. You know what I mean?
Energy,
my mother right now is battling cancer right now. Not only cancer, 2 forms of cancer.
Oof.
The cancer that killed her father a year ago. You know, one of my close friends, George Peterson from South Jamaica, Queens, one of the best bodybuilders in the world. He was prepped to win Mr. Olympia. He was killing everything. He came down to Orlando. I usually let him tap in, do his thing. Didn't hear from him for a couple of days. It was kind of weird. Saturday, I get a call. He's dead, face down in his room. You know what I mean?
Wow.
My aunt falls asleep, doesn't wake up, from South Jamaica, Queens. Like, I deal with a lot, you know? Man. And I realize now that he conditions me. God conditions me for a lot of things that I go through. And I realize a lot of the times, like, man, I don't want to do this, you know? But it helps condition me. It helps callous my mind. It helps in a good way.
Yeah.
And I realized through training and through pushing myself through adverse situations, being in the fire all the time, being in adversity, being in uncomfortable spots. Now, day to day, when I'm in uncomfortable spots, I can move, I can function. And God, I feel like, uses me. I don't think God ever punishes anyone, right? People say, "Wait, why me, God? Why me?" Like how I kind of look at it is like it's like an open chest of toys, you know what I mean? And we're those toys, you know,
I agree.
and we get to play and use those toys, but ultimately they're his toys. And when he wants to put them back, he puts them back. So when you have that time with that toy, you know, that's sacred time and you enjoy that time. But when God takes his toy back, who are you to say, "Hey, God, man, why you
take my toy away?"
It was never your toy to begin with.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, and that's how I look at it now. What I see is like, I feel like what he does, like my mother's going through some rough stuff right now, you know, losing her hair, like, you know, it's hard. And it affects me different. It affects my father different. It affects my sisters different. And what he does do is he uses that as opportunities for me to grow and learn, you know, opportunities for my father to grow and learn, for my sister to grow and learn. So he does use what we call quote unquote tragedy to mold people. You know, I don't think they're ever punishments, but I think he used it to mold. Like my mom, bulletproof, you know, like goes to chemo, then she's driving here, boom, 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 driving here. Like who am I to be crying? And when my mom is, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and I just went ahead and shaved my head because I started losing weight. You know what I mean? So I didn't feel like buzzed the head off.
Well, you know
what I mean?
Well, women are, in my opinion, because I was raised by, you know, strong single woman who, you know, now is married and happy, but I think women have extremely strong minds, man.
Facts.
They got way stronger minds than us. I don't care what nobody say. Women's got some strongest minds.
And you're talking about a Jamaican woman, and you're talking about a God-fearing Jamaican woman.
Yeah.
She's bulletproof, you know? So like my mother's from Montego Bay, my father's from St. Elizabeth.
That's what's up.
But bulletproof, you know? And when I see her trucking through what she's trucking through, I'm like, who these weenies that they got me matched up with? Like, you think I give a fuck about this guy?
Man,
you know what I mean? Like, you think I give a fuck about what this guy, you know what I mean? Like my last fight, that morning, you know, my mom calls me and wishing me luck, and she's going through what she's going through, you know?
Yeah. Damn, man. And it's crazy because a lot of times people only see the hand raise, you know what I'm saying, when you get your hand raised, or if you don't get your hand raised and then they're coming after you and you know what I'm saying, but they don't see what led up to that, what led up to you getting your hand raised, or what caused you to not get your hand raised, or you know what I'm saying. That it's so interesting now being on the other side, you know what I mean, because I was one of those people that only saw the hand raised, you know what I mean, and I would be like, what? That person's like doing his thing, you know what I mean? That person's amazing, you know. When I was in high school, I idolized UFC fighters. I was just like, man, like Anderson Silva, you know what I mean? But I never, not once, ever thought, I wonder how Anderson Silva's life is.
Yeah.
Never. You know, now that I see fighters and interact with fighters every single day at the PI, you know, or at the gym or whatever the case may be, and learn a little bit more about different fighters and their story, I can relate more to them because of my story as well, you know. And I was just like, wow, these are actually like the most normal people. You know what I mean? Like people think normality is someone who is functioning without any problems. Like, nah, that person ain't normal. If you function and you don't have no problem in your life, you ain't normal. I don't care what you say. You are not normal. Normality is people that struggle and that can, you know, somehow push through the struggle. That's why God gave us struggles, is to get closer to him. I find when I'm struggling, that is when I'm the most spirited. You know, I'm the most grounded.
You gotta realize, understand how to talk with God if that's what you want, you know, not to be too much, you know.
No, but I'm on that.
Yeah,
I'm on
so
that.
Like
you know,
for me,
Jamaicans,
it's like
man.
Facts. So for me, it's like this. Like I grew up in the church. I'm a very God-fearing person as well. But whenever you just gotta take the time to listen, man. So like this is just my belief, how I am, you know. I would hear growing up, man, God talked to me. God told me this, you know. God told me that. God told me. I'm like, man, I've been in church my whole life. He ain't talking to me. Like I don't hear this guy. Like what are you guys talking about? You know. But you just had to sit and listen, you know. What people call their conscience, you know, like, oh, there's a bad angel, there's a good angel. Yeah, that's God talking to you, homie. Like that's the Holy Spirit in you. So. When my father say, Pop, my family calls me Poppy. Poppy, don't do this. Poppy, don't do that. Yeah. Why? Anytime that I'm in an adverse situation that I shouldn't be, and I know I shouldn't be, there's that audible. Poppy, you know, you maybe, what's that? Yeah. What's that? That's your conscience?
Whispers.
That's not your conscience.
No.
That's Christ in you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the whispers, yeah.
And that's God talking to you.
Yeah, the whispers.
And he talks to you all the time. Yep. You know? So, and it took me until I was 23. I'm like, yo, I'm talking to this cat every day.
Yeah.
All the time. When I'm like, yo, I should do, you shouldn't do that. Who is, that's not me. That's not Phil saying, oh, I know I shouldn't do that.
Yep.
You know, that's, yo, Poppy, honor thy mother and father. You know what I mean? Like, that's God talking to you. So once you realize that, things start clicking a little bit more. You know, where you get in the scary places when you start throwing that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Ode, don't. Nah, I got it. Yeah. Ode, yo, you shouldn't. Nah, I got it. Yeah. You don't want to harden your heart too much. You know
That's
what
why
I mean?
I call it the whispers, you know, because God only talks to you whisperingly, you know what I mean? Because you got to be quiet. And when your mind is loud, you're not gonna hear nothing. But when your mind is still and you can find that zero, now you hear the whispers, you know, because we always know when what it is that we're supposed to do and what it is we're not supposed to do most of the time. And a lot of times when we come to a path and we see, oh, that's a bad path, but I'm gonna do it anyways. But you get that thought of, no, don't do it. That's a bad path.
What's that thought though? Who is that?
Exactly.
Who's that thought?
That thought is Christ.
Of course.
That thought is Christ,
100%.
100%. And
so like if you hear that audible, if anybody's listening, and you feel like that's God trying to talk to you. If you ever trying to figure out that's him talking to you, you know? So I'm a very impatient person, and that's my biggest thing.
Preaching to the congregation, man.
I don't know if it's me being from New York, me being Jamaican, everything's, you know what I mean? But I'm very impatient, and I always pray for patience, you know? And I find that instead of like me one day just having patience, I'm put in situations where to test my patience. But that's, you know what I mean? So I'm always in spots where I'm like, man, but it's God there testing me, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you just gotta know how to listen.
I agree.
You know?
And what I love too, man, I love that, you know, we can have that conversation because it's so crazy. What's crazy is that a lot of times when I talk about God around people, it makes them uncomfortable. And, you know, so I let them set the pace or set the tone to how I'm going to go about, you know, what I'm going to say or whatever the case may be. But I love that you can come on here and talk about God openly because that to me is powerful.
Uncomfortable.
No, I said not uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's weird, you know?
No,
I think that's weird if talking about God makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they just feel. Yeah, I don't know. I can feel the energy though. You know what I'm saying? I can always feel that energy. So I'm like, that's dope. That, you know what I mean? Because I've had foolery on this podcast. I've had, you know, education on this podcast, and now I got somebody that, you know what I mean, could talk the word, and I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I think that's cool, man, because like I said, for me, that's everything through and through. You know, God, it's almost like where I explained it, right? Growing up in Jamaica, all I knew as a kid was being in the jungle. That's it. That's all I knew. Like from sun up to sundown, I was in the woods. Cause you gotta think, fruits was abundant in the woods. You know what I mean? You could go out and eat, pick fruits, all kinds of stuff. And you didn't have to come home. You don't need no water. You don't need no fruit. You can go to the river, drink some water, whatever. But all I knew was the woods, and I feel like I was grounded when I was there. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is, but even as a young age, I could feel God's presence over me as a kid, like going through the woods, like having these conversations with myself, like talking to God, like talking to myself almost as a kid. That's powerful.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah, man. And it's almost like I've been through a lot, man. I've been through a lot, and people have no idea, but it's the way I can relate it. It's like gambling, right? And rolling a 6. I don't know if a 6 is good or not in dice, but I'm gonna say 6. It's like rolling a 6 every time, every single time I hit that God. You know what I mean? I'm rolling that dice. Brr, God hits me 6 every time. Brr, every time. Brr. And it's just been that, you know, every time I don't know where to go, and I've lost my way where, you know, I've not been close to God, but he still just hit me with 6s, hit me with
Fire.
6s, hit me with 6s.
Fire.
You know, and a lot of times he'll hit me with a 1, and I'm like, damn, like I can't believe I got hit with this 1. But later on, it's like, nah, that 1 was to set you up for that 2-6 I'm about to give you.
Fire.
Oh, yeah, man, for real. So, you know, I love it's always been like that.
Nah, that's cool that you got to grow up out there. Like my father, he grew up like that, and he would tell me about it often. You know, my mother, she grew up in Montego Bay, but she her family was a little bit, you know, more financially well off
Yeah.
than my father's. You know, my father lived like that in the bush country.
The bush side.
You know. So like
the bush side.
He used to tell me about like climbing trees, mangoes, and like,
Yes.
you know what I mean, being in the river and
That's
like
it. That's true. That
cleaning his clothes, and like that's how my father grew up, you know. So it's people that grew up like that have a different aura about them, you know. Like
100%.
when I say like nothing bothers my pops, man. Like when I say you get it because you from that, you know. Like right now they're in Florida.
My mom
there's a hurricane going on, and I've seen numerous hurricanes, and I remember we evacuated a couple times, and I was younger, and then my father, no power, no nothing, he wouldn't leave. You know what I mean? So I remember I rode my bike back to the house and my dad is in the living room, like a horror movie. Yeah. You just hear, he's on a lazy boy, just pitch black, just chilling. He's like, yo, I stomach. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and he was just parlaying, chilling in the house, you know? He's been like that. It's like nothing bothers him, you know? And I feel like that's how he grew up and where he grew up and what he came from. Yeah. Everything else is just like a blessing to him, you know? So tapping in with my pops, I'm a junior, by the way, so tapping in with my pops always keeps me grounded too, you know, like when I see the way he doesn't let nothing
bother him.
Nothing. Don't make me never mind. You know, nothing, bro.
That's dope.
Nothing.
That's dope, man. I need to meet your pops. He's in Florida?
Yeah, my father is literally the most Jamaican human being to ever exist.
That's like my mom. My mom is like that.
You think.
But your pops is real. He's real Jamaican.
No, I'm going to show you. I
believe it.
No, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. He doesn't, for one, he wears no apparel unless it has Jamaican flags on it.
Yo, can we put him up on the screen?
Yo,
I'm gonna have Travis or Chase put it up on the screen after the show so that they can see it. Oh yeah.
No. This is just one outfit. Look, Look. So ready? So look, in the car.
Oh, he's the most Jamaican.
No. It gets better. Look at this one.
Oh yeah.
No. This is nothing. Hang on.
We definitely have to put it up on the screen.
Look at this one. It gets better. Look.
Oh, yo, does he own anything that doesn't have Jamaican out? Like he's got Jamaican chairs.
He tried to paint our garage door. My mom was like, "You're not painting the garage door a Jamaican flag." So look, this is him a little bit more dressed up.
He's got everything Jamaican flag.
Look at it. It's a collar shirt.
He's literally Jamaican flagged out.
Jamaican flag.
Yo, I bet he got a Jamaican flag toothbrush.
Bro,
I bet he got Jamaican flag socks.
It's crazy.
Oh,
bro.
that is
just at the my sister graduated from UCF.
Yeah,
she got a bachelor's the other day. My dad was at the graduation. Jamaican holes everywhere in the shirt, like yellow head to toe holes. Crazy, bro. Crazy. They proud people though, man.
Yo, hey, talk about proud. That Jamaican food. Talk about proud.
There you go.
Man, you know, Jamaicans will claim Jamaican food to be the best, and I agree with them 100%. Jamaican food is the best food known to man. I don't care what nobody says. You have something to say? Come take me.
And I tell people this, like, and it's not, I'm like, man, am I biased for Jamaican culture? Of course I'm biased because I'm a Jamaican. But reggae, you know what I mean? Like, what music your people got? You people listen to my people music. Am I lying?
Oh, you are not lying. You are not lying.
So we got that notched off.
Buju Banton, we got Beanie Man, Shaggy, Sean Paul, Bunty Killer.
Yo,
you don't know. That's just the ones the Americans know.
Period.
They don't know. You know what I mean?
My favorite is Barris Hammond, but
they know Popcorn, but really, like Jamaicans don't really mess with Popcorn like that.
No. But I like old school Jamaican guys, but. I don't know. I just feel like it's the best culture in the world, man.
It really is. It really is. And because if you go to Jamaica, the first thing when you see somebody, they don't even have to know you. They're like, Wagwan, yo, hey. You know what I mean? You can't walk from point A to point B without somebody being like, yo, Wagwan, what up, Wagwan? You know, and I think that's great. I remember every Sunday, my grandma used to cook. And she cooked outside, you know what I'm saying? Outside on the ground with coals and like a little chimney type thing. It was on the ground, and she used to make rice on peas, and you know, grandma rice on peas, no clear. And I wasn't really big into food as a kid, you know. I was always outside eating all kinds of other shit, so I was never really hungry. And everybody from the neighborhood, you know, I grew up in Bull Bay, 11 Mile. Everybody from the neighborhood would come over to my grandma's house on Sunday to eat, and she cooked for everybody.
That's fine.
She cooked for the whole neighborhood, And that, you don't really see that anymore. You know, I feel like we live in a what's mine is mine culture society now, you know. But you go to Jamaica, and they still do stuff like that, man. Everybody still run the domino table and cook and drink
I've been
eat.
trying to tap in bad, man. I want to go back, but I just been busy. I
already know, man.
I got a kid now, so it's
How
like,
old?
you know, two.
Oh, that's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
2-year-old.
Boy or girl?
Girl. She's about my height already.
Whew.
Crazy.
Yo, that's
It's
wild,
crazy.
dude.
It's crazy.
Bro, I gotta ask you, has anybody, I'm sure you've gotten this so many times, has anybody told you look like Will Smith from Fresh Prince?
I hear it a lot.
That's not a bad compliment, though.
No.
That's not a bad compliment.
Shout out to Will Smith, man. Like,
and you're from Philly?
no, I'm not from Philly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from New York. People
Okay.
think I'm from Philly because my name is, everyone calls me Philly. But my family calls me Philly. You know what I mean? My name is Phillip. My nickname is Phill. People call me Philly.
Yeah.
It goes with my name, you know? So I'm from New York, though. I'm from Brooklyn. Grew up in Queens. I moved out to Florida. I've been in Florida for a little bit. But no, I'm not from Philly. I've been there a few times. I've been to Sesame Place when I was a kid.
Yeah.
From school, we went there to Sesame Place.
Yo, Philly, man. That's
And I think that's
different-
Philly. Sesame. Yeah, it was in Pennsylvania. And then I've been there a few times for like grappling tournaments and stuff like that. But nah, I'm not. No relations to Philly. They'll be hitting me up like too much.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna meet Will Smith one day, man.
Yeah,
like,
you need to.
That's my OG, man. There's not many people that I look up to, that I like pick gems from. But since I was a kid, man, I've been big on Will, man.
Will.
I started wearing Doc Martens early from Will.
From Will, yeah.
His style.
Yeah.
I rock with the dude, man. And I'm connected with him a little bit. And I want it to happen organically. I know a lot of people around him. Shout out to Pierce Austin, that's Will's barber. This is a really good friend. Shout out to Martin Lawrence. I'm tapped in with people around him. Martin Lawrence actually tapped in with me. He saw me doing some funny videos, and he messaged me, and he showed me love. I sent him a bunch of my hats. I sent him a bunch of T-shirts, and I didn't want to use that opportunity. Like, yo, man, tell Will to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted it to happen organically, but I know, like, Martin is his man. You know what I mean? So, like, I know he's seeing. I just want it to happen organically. So, like, but also I did ask Martin this, though. I was like, how would he feel the whole Philly Fresh thing? You know, like,
Yeah.
I didn't want him to think it was me trying to take his swag, which I can't. You can't. Yeah, I mean, he's up here, you know?
He made that.
Exactly. So it's just paying homage. That's all it is.
And he seems humble enough.
Yeah.
Too,
So
know?
he was like, nah, it's not like that, man. He's a good dude. He wouldn't think like that. And Pierce Austin is, I want to say Pierce Austin has known Will longer than Martin Lawrence. That's his barber. It's his really good friend. And their families are close. And I don't know how me and Pierce got tapped in.
Yeah.
But like, I tapped in with him through Instagram somehow a minute ago. And the same thing. I reached out and he was showing love. He's like, yo, man, I love what you do, blah, 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 blah. And one time I was like, one time I was like, yo, man, if Will's ever around, you know, show him up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One time. And I didn't regret doing it, but I was like, I feel let it happen organically. And then actually Pierce like, look, man, I don't look to be, Will doesn't look to me to be a messenger, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, he's a good dude.
That's dope.
He sees what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. So I would keep
love to meet
grinding.
him,
Oh man, like for me, there was a few guys, you know what I mean? There was a few guys that I really want to tap in with and pick their brain. And I don't want to say this guy's name because I feel like there's guys that are higher than me in the UFC, like a bigger name, and they could reach out and take my idea, but whatever. So for me, it was Kobe Bryant, David Goggins, and Will Smith. And the thing about Kobe is I felt like I was going to see him soon because of the whole body armor in the UFC thing. And I know he came to one of the events because I'm pretty sure he owns or he's a partner in Body Armor. And I was like, man, that was the summer before I got to the UFC. And I'm like, man, if I was there, he would have tapped in with me. I'm the only dude that can hoop. You know what I mean? Like that, we'd have had something. And when he died, man, it was over for me. And but rest in RIP the great man, Kobe.
Black Mamba.
But David Goggins, I don't know if anybody. If you know,
yeah, what's the book that I actually
Can't Hurt Me.
Can't Hurt Me. Yeah, that's
bro, changed my life, man. And it's crazy, bro, because David Goggins was gonna corner me in a UFC fight.
No way.
He was, man, and I hope no one steals my idea.
No way.
He was gonna corner me, man.
Yeah.
And how it happened was, I tapped in with David long time ago before he was who he is.
Hey,
now.
hold up, pause. If y'all steal his idea, you're a poser. We know it's you, and we're coming for you. We know it's you because we said it here first.
That's a fact.
Yep.
So if anybody in the UFC with a huge name that gets David Goggins in their corner, you fighting me next. But it's crazy because so once again, I don't know how I tap in with these people. But anyway,
your energy, bro.
It's
For
crazy.
real.
His girl tapped me and his girl were like friends on Instagram. Okay. And I'm like, I want to say he was at like 20,000 followers at the time. And he was following no one. Now he's at a couple mil. Pre-COVID, tapped in with him. And I'm like, look, man, he changed my whole way of thinking. Accountability got me here. Like, I hold myself accountable like nobody's business. It's my fault, period. It's my fault.
Ooh,
and when I see people that don't think that way, they're food to me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't rock with me, homie. You don't hold yourself accountable. You can't hold my jock strap, my guy.
Yo,
I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? And it changed my life, bro. It's my fault. Everything's my fault. And once I started thinking like that, bro, like immediate change. And it was him. And I had it in me, but he brought it out of me. And just reading his interviews and his podcast. But I tapped in with her and I was like, hey, look, this guy, David, changed my life. He has me thinking a new way, blah, blah, blah. I just love to chat with him, pick his brain. And I said, look, I reached out to David. I said, hey, man, I just got married yesterday. If you hit me up tomorrow, I'll fly out to you and I'll train, period. I said, done deal. I said, I don't care. I said, I'm wherever you want me to be, let's train. And I said, and I also, his wife reached back out to me via email, or his girl, and she was like, blah, 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 blah. We started going back and forth. I said, hey, look, I'm fighting my UFC debut in Portland, Oregon. This was the first fight they shut down for COVID. The fight prior was in UFC Uruguay. Rodolfo Vieira, my teammate, I was there with him, and Mike Perry fought Luque. I cornered Mike Perry.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I was in Portland the very next card, like a month later. One. And in between Uruguay and Portland, COVID shut down. Like,
I remember.
No Apex. Apex wasn't around. It was over.
Done.
So I said, hey, man, what's your size? Boom, boom. He's like, yo, man, I appreciate you. Boom, 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 boom. Talk to my wife. She'll figure everything out. I said, hey, all I need is his size. Boom, 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 boom. UFC Portland. I gave him all the info. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. You keep going. Stay hard. Boom, 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 boom. Show me love. Hey, I love you being in the corner. Hey, man, it'd be an honor. Boom, boom, boom. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know how my schedule's going. Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. Tapped in with him again. Hey, man, are you down here? You know what? I'm down, man. Blah, 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 blah. I appreciate you. Let's do it. Gave me all his sizes. Sent in the corner info. Ready to go. COVID. UFC shut down.
Damn.
I was supposed to fight.
Have you spoken to him since that happened?
Yes, but he's so busy. I'm not gonna say he's Hollywood,
but I know
he's just busy.
Yeah, because he's blown up so much.
Disgusting.
Dude, he took off.
No, like took off.
He took off.
And I tapped in with him at the beginning, so it's tricky now because he's so busy. And he reached back out to me and he was just pretty much said the same thing. Like, hey, man, Phil, I'm so busy, man. We got to catch up. Some blah, 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 blah. Stay hard. Keep doing your thing. Boom, boom, boom. So it sucked because I couldn't imagine having that cat, man.
Yeah, man.
And that'd have been fire.
Oh, isn't that crazy, though, how I was just saying this earlier today. You know, they were talking about, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. They were talking about, you know, I guess one of the Jonas Brothers coming here or whatever. And then we were talking, and I was like, I used to watch them on Disney Channel. But I believe one of the members is a huge UFC fan. And I was like, it's so crazy how, you know, sometimes you have your idols, and then your idols become fans of you. And I think that is interesting to me. Not the David Goggins, but going back to even like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, you have all these people that are just, you know, tapping in with you, right? eventually these people are gonna be like, wow, I admire Phill. I look up to Phill.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't see it now, but let me tell you something. I can see it.
Appreciate
you know,
that,
when you get older, it's something that they're gonna be like, wow, I want my kids to be around Phil's kids. I want, you know, like Phill is a you know,
Appreciate
it's something for real. I feel that energy. Like, you give off that Nipsey Hussle energy, bro.
And what I tell these guys, man, in the UFC, and I don't want to say names, but you guys got a big responsibility, man. So like, and I say this all the time, there's nobody in the entire UFC that talks to my culture. Hear me out. Nobody.
Yep.
You go to the parks that I grew up at, go to East Flatbush, go to the Green Courts, go to these places and be like, hey, you know who Francis Ngannou is? Respect to him. I said what up to him 4 times, and he was probably getting tired of me saying what up to him. The champ, the biggest, baddest dude on earth. Nobody know him where I'm from. Say, yo, go to where I'm from and say, hey, yo, you know who Gervonta Davis is? Hell yeah, they know Gervonta Davis. And you don't speak to my culture.
Yeah.
And the thing I didn't like was they were pushing these certain guys in the UFC that were like, that's the black guy, like the hip hop dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, he's not. And look, it's okay. Tyron Woodley, I don't want to pick on him.
Yeah, no,
because he's a good dude. And I would say it to his face. What I didn't like about Tyron Woodley, one thing was the whole Jake Paul thing, right? Tyrone, you have a huge responsibility. You were a UFC champion at one point, right?
Yeah.
They were talking about you were one of the greats, blah, blah, blah. I've seen numerous times where he's like, yo, don't let this suit fool you. Like, no, what you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't let you're an anchorman on TV. What do you mean? Don't let what fool you? That's your job. That's what you do.
Yeah.
If you're really from that, and St. Louis is shout out to St. Louis. There's a lot of real dudes from St. Louis. But if you're really from that, you don't promote that. Yeah. You know what's cool to those kids from there that can't get out of there? Yo, man, I went to college and I wrestled in college. If you go to your school right up the street and wrestle, you can get out of here. That's what's cool to people that's really from those neighborhoods. If you've really been there, if you're really from that, and I'm not saying he's not, but if you are, that's cool. What's not cool is you're a scholar, my guy. You're a literal scholar. You went to school to wrestle. That's a great thing. Promote that. I'm not saying you can't speak back as a man. I'm not saying you can't have that energy with a guy, but it don't have to be gangster energy. And you don't even know what gangster energy is. You know what I mean? Because real dudes aren't like that. If you go to any of them real hoods, this guy's playing basketball, you know what they do? Yo, man, stay out here. You ain't in. Go inside. We don't need you outside. Yo, here, take this. You play ball. This ain't for you. That's what they really tell you if you're from these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. When you do get that platform, be a DC.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Coach the kids. You know what I mean? You don't have to play basketball and rap to get out of these neighborhoods. You can kickbox, you can box, you can wrestle, you can go to college. That's cool, bro. You know what I mean? And they think that's cool.
Yep.
Not the other way around.
And you know what? For me, growing up, I went through almost like an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? No, not almost. I'm gonna say it how it is. I did go through an identity crisis growing up because society, which was, you know, my friends, people who I looked up to, people who weren't my friend, everybody around me was telling me, like, you know what I mean? You need to speak this way and you need to act this way. And my mother, actually, she's a scholar. Like, when I tell you she graduated like #2 in her class from Jamaica, like, she had a full ride. And then, you know, she got pregnant with me when she was 18, you know, but she was a stickler with grammar. When I would say stuff like, yeah, brung, she'd be like, nah, it's brats. You know, she was on my ass every step of the way. But growing up, I struggled because my mom wanted me to be like this person who didn't want anyone to judge me because of the way I spoke. She wanted me to get a good job. She wanted me to show that I was educated. But people around me was like, why do you talk white? You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And that really affected me for so long.
Crazy.
Like, for so long, I'm telling you, Phill, you have no idea like how much that affected me. Why do you talk white? And it wasn't until I got high school that I really like started thinking about it. Like, I was like, what does that mean? Why do I talk white? Does that mean that my people and me aren't allowed to speak proper English. Like we're supposed to be degraded. That's how we're supposed to come off. And when I really like dug into that, I was like, okay, so, the problem wasn't the way I spoke. It was other people's insecurity to my intellect. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, I never thought that I could be a lawyer. I never thought I could be a doctor. I never thought I could be a judge, a police. Never, none of that. The only thing I thought I could be was an athlete, because everybody around me when I was sitting in class was like, yeah, man, you could be an athlete. You could be an athlete. Now, I look up to guys like Daniel Cormier, and you know what I'm saying?
Great dude.
Shout out to DC. Man, for real. Shout out to DC, man, because he really kind of paved the way. Like, listen, you guys can still talk like me, and you don't have to act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You can still do your thing and have different avenues. You can be a UFC fighter, a commentator, XYZ. You can do all these other things. You know what I mean? So when he came on the UFC scene, I was like, oh man, he's kind of like me. You know, I like anime. You know, I like this, I like that. But yeah, it was always something I struggled with, and so I look up to people like Daniel Cormier because of like, it was in some way, some weird way, he kind of freed me, if that makes sense.
No, it does, man. And like I said, man, as athletes, as elders to our youngins up and coming from places we grew up, we have a due diligence to guide these guys in the right way, you know? And I'm 32, man. When I was 16, come on, man, I was reckless. I can't tell you the stuff I was doing.
Man.
You wouldn't believe me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to tell you this and think. And I grew up in a God-fearing home.
I believe that.
And just to be cool, I'm doing crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, my mom was like, Poppy, you hang with these people, you're going to be like, no, that's not true, Mom. That's not true. I'd combat that. My friends smoke. I don't smoke. Well, Mom, you're wrong. My friends smoke and I don't smoke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would think about it all the time, but I'm robbing people that had weed to give to my friends that smoked. No, so I am doing what my peers are doing.
Yeah.
You know? So, and you couldn't tell me at the time it was wrong. Oh, he's a drug dealer. It's bad. Anyway, he shouldn't be selling drugs.
Accountability, back to back what you said before. Accountability, man.
So we gotta, these kids, man, they're precious, bro. Their minds are so, and I already know what you went through coming from Jamaica here. Like, my dad went through that. You know, America will eat you up. And you come here with that accent, you know, my dad had to beat people up every day.
Oh my goodness.
Because he said, Poppy, I never fight nobody.
Yeah.
Don't fight nobody. He go, but when they talk about my mother, I fight. You grew up in New York.
Yo.
What they say, your mom.
Your
So
mother,
you fighting every day.
your mother.
Yo, tell your mother.
Yo,
so you're fighting every day.
My mom had to go to, cause I got beat up by this boy and his brother because, you know, he was talking and we got into a fight outside, and then his brother jumped in. And they both just like jumped me, and they both beat me up because, you know what I mean. It was just like, I got to the point where I'm just like, I'm sick of this shit. Like, they talking about my accent, they talk about my mom,
Word.
they talk, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm sick of this shit. So it's like, you know what? I got into a fight. Boom, my mom took me. And we went right to their house. And she cussed their mom out and their parents out and the kids, everything. My mom was crazy. She didn't give a damn. She was like, we're going right there. I don't know if she remembers. I think she does. But, man, I'll never forget that day. But coming here, like you said, with an accent, it's different because kids now, I feel like people now, society is a little bit more accepting. But, man, then, ruthless.
And it blew my mind because my father used to tell me stories, but my dad was born in 1964. He grew up in Jamaica, Queens. He's from Jamaica. He moved to Queens when he was 13. And I don't know what my pops used to do, and he does 97, he turned his life to Christ. He does a very good job of not letting me know what he did growing up. But, like, I would be in Southside, like, I'd be at parties with my cousin Tony, shout out to Two Time. And I remember one time I was at a party and they were like, yo, I Phil up nephew that.
Yeah.
My dad's name is Phil. I Phil up nephew that. And that's my cousin.
Yeah.
I'm there with him. So they talking about my father.
Yeah.
Yo, I Phil up nephew that. So they're like, yo, and my cousin started getting, he's like, yo, that's his son right there, man. That's yo, are you Philip's son? Poppy? Yo, I Philip's son this, yo. And I'm like, my dad's a deacon, man. What y'all talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what my dad out here doing? You know what I mean? So, like, that was kind of crazy to me, too, you know? So, like, and I never knew.
Yeah.
And then I got a taste of it again. I remember one time I was at laundromat in Queens. I was at the laundromat, and I was with my cousin Tony. Shout out to Two Time. I was with my auntie June, and my father wasn't there. No, he was. I don't remember if my dad was there, but my auntie June and my cousin were there. And I remember dude came in, old dude, and he was like, yo, I'm not scared of you no more, June. yo, where your brother there? Yo, I'm not scared of you no more. And he was like, how you been? And he was like, I'm like, what you mean? Like, people coming up like, these are old heads. Like, they coming up my face like, yo, I ain't scared of you all no more. I'm like, what? But you know what I mean? So like that was kind of.
He was well connected, man.
Yo, I don't know, man. You know, and like
connected.
Queens is small, you know. So
my dad lives in Queens.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me last time I saw him though. It was one of you know how it is, man. Especially like men from Jamaica, not just Jamaica, just the black community. You know, I feel like they made it like that. You know what I'm saying? They ripped us from here to there, and so it became normal.
What's weird to me too about Queens, Jamaica Queens, why are there so many Jamaicans there?
Yo, there's more Jamaicans in Jamaica Queens than in Jamaica, I feel like.
It's weird. So like, I never paid attention to it, and I think someone told me it's called Jamaica Queens because there's Jamaicans there. Like, that's what I'm like. I don't. But my thing was like when I was a kid, I didn't know anything but New York City and Jamaican culture. I didn't know geography. I didn't know Jamaica was way down there by Florida. So I'm like, how do we get to Jamaica Queens?
Yeah,
like, that's so weird.
It is. Jamaica.
New York is Jamaica.
Yeah, I tell people that. I tell my manager, Lance, if you're watching, I'm New York.
I'm pure Jamaican.
Pure Jamaican. You don't even know. You're not even know.
It's weird, bro.
It is.
Until I got older and moved, I was like, why didn't they go to Florida? Why didn't we go to Florida? It's right there.
Yo, Jamaicans come, they go to New York, then to Florida. That's exactly the pattern.
It's weird.
To New York, I think what it is because it's just been like, you know, since the slavery days, right? Because I read up on all the slaves and how they did the plantations. So they take them from Jamaica to New York. And then they would trade out of New York, go back to Jamaica, and then they go to mainly the UK. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was such a big, that big Jamaican community in London, man. London got, whoo.
Shout out to Leon Edwards.
Yep, shout out to Leon,
Shout out to Darren Stewart. You know what I mean? There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us out here.
You ever talk to, you get Uriah Hall?
Primetime Wham. Big up.
Yo, big up Uriah.
Primetime Wham.
Yeah, Uriah Hall, I mean, we've had it, man. He's a cool dude.
That's my guy, man. Uriah Hall was just in Florida 3 weeks ago, dropping gems on me. I've tapped in with him so much coming up. Yeah. I looked up to guys like him. Yeah, man. Jason Jackson. Yo, shout out to Jason Jackson, man. He don't get his flowers, man. While he can still smell them, man, I got hella flowers to send Jason Jackson, man. To me, Jason Jackson's the best Jamaican fighter on this planet, man, and he don't get enough credit, man. Jason Jackson is a bad dude, man, and he's an awesome dude. He works hard. Shout out to Jason Jackson, man. I think Jason Jackson is the baddest Jamaican fighter on the planet right now, man. He's doing it. He's doing it right.
That's what's up, man. And I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is, but I'm gonna say this. I feel like Jamaicans are just cut differently. I don't know if it's the food or if it's the magnetic pull from the island or the way the earth is making the sun shine down. I don't know what it is, but Jamaicans just cut different. Like
remember this name, bro? Valentine Woodburn from Fusion Excel. Val, he trains with me. Val right now, I want to say is 6-0, 7-0, 6 knockouts. Val, when Val gets here, and who is babying Val and who is telling him to take his time is Phill. Val could be here now, and I'm like, just one more year.
What's his last name?
Woodburn.
Woodburn, y'all. Check
Woodburn.
That out.
Val Woodburn. Look,
Val Woodburn.
Val Woodburn. Shout out to my homie Val, Fusion XL, Yardman, Bush from you know what I mean?
From the
and country. And he's here. He win fights. He'll send a barrel back to Jamaica full of food and clothes. And he's a regional fighter. He will be in the UFC 100%. I'd put my whole new contract on the line.
You're done, Noah,
bro.
You're done, Noah.
He built different. I'm telling you. When he's an 85er, thank God I'm not in that division. And he is so green. When I say green, bro, the guy is just steel. People think he like, this guy don't even work out, bro. He don't touch the weight room like this.
Oh, like Joel Romero type.
Val knocked people out like I have never seen. Google Val with EMS in the ring, neck brace, high flow O2. Get this guy to the hospital. Nobody's cheering.
Yo, I can't wait.
2 fights.
I can't wait.
We're in the corner actively. Yo, stop, ref, stop. Us, his team, murdering dudes. And when I say he is green, and that's the scary part, he is green. Learning this all. We're in the corner. Yo, ref, stop. Stop it now. Val killing people, bro. Val different, bro.
So he the new Tyson, huh?
Bro, from Yard. You know what I mean? Like I'm born in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bush, you know? Different, bro. Different. They're going to find out, man. Jamaicans are here, man. They're going to find out. And them soon find out.
Me can't wait. Me can't wait.
Bro.
Yo, my goal is to have this table right here just full of Jamaican fighters. And we just talk. Look, man, the audience is going to be like, what the hell are they talking about? I'll be like, yo, blah, blah, blah.
Yo, this weekend we got one up, man. We got creme de la creme. You know, Randy Brown, man. They
Rude Boy.
The only welterweight. I'm never fighting. I don't care how much money you guys give me. I'll never tussle with Randy Brown, man. And millions of dollars. I don't care, man. I hope he don't say anything different. But on record, I'll never fight Randy Brown, man.
Cool.
I got so much love for him, man. He helps me out. Anytime I reach out to him, it's nothing but love, man. I want to see everybody that look like me, that's cut from my cloth. I want to see everybody win, man.
Spanish tone. Big up Randy Brown.
Big up Randy Brown.
Yeah, man. Spanish tone him come from. All right, man. Well, Phill, oh my goodness, it was such a honor to have you on this podcast,
man. It's a pleasure, man.
For real.
Absolute pleasure.
And anytime you're back in Vegas, let me know. If you want to, bring one of your homies, let me know. Dude, it was a pleasure to be on here with you.
Appreciate you,
and
brother.
For those of you guys that don't know, Gwaan podcast, Gwaan in Patois means what's good. So I'm Ode Osborne, UFC bantamweight. It's my man Phill Rowe, welterweight.
Really fresh. You're done, know him.